Alright guys, let's cover some of the tools to track your website stats and traffic that you're getting from Pinterest. We're going to cover Google Analytics, Jetpack, and which platform we prefer to track our website stats. First, let's talk about Google Analytics. It's a free platform that measures how many people are visiting your website. It is a robust platform that also can take a lot of time to understand. And we feel that our time is better spent on creating content and pins. Now, Google Analytics can be very helpful, but there are other metrics that are easier to understand and take less time. So it's up to you. But Google Analytics is definitely going to be considered the more professional platform as a whole. So what you do is you go to google.com/analytics, and then you will either have to sign up, or if you already have a Google account, you can just sign in by clicking here on your analytics itself. And what the stats end up looking like is something like this. So you have an entire dashboard back here. This is the stats of traffic we've had for the last week on Avocado. As you see, we've had a pin pump up this past week and go really viral, and that just kind of happens with Pinterest. Anyway, we can see our past week stats. We can look at active users, demographics, interest. You can go to the acquisition where those stats are, where the traffic is coming from. Obviously, most of ours comes from Pinterest. So you're going to see social media accounts for a large majority of our traffic. You can see the behavior that they have on your web page, where they're going, what they're doing, etc. Which articles are doing very well and which ones are not. And then you can even create conversion goals. The thing about Google Analytics, though, and it's what I tell most of you, if you're new to blogging and you don't have a lot of experience under your belt, it's probably best to avoid it for now. I mean, you can install it and have the stats running on your website without actually using them, and we very rarely use Google Analytics. There's a very rare occasion that I need to come back here and look at some sort of value or try to figure out some sort of demographic thing that I couldn't be told otherwise with Jetpack. That being said, again, if you're a little more experienced and you already kind of sort of track your stats and want an even better or more robust platform and want to spend a lot of time understanding Google Analytics, it can still be a great resource for a blogger as far as tracking stats is concerned. Again, it's got all of these tools and all these customization options. It takes a while to learn, so just be aware of that, but it is still a great platform to track your stats, and it's very professionally done. Now, what we use as our main way to track stats is we use the Jetpack plugin, and it tracks your website stats, traffic sources, clicks, etc. You can download the free plugin and access it in the WordPress dashboard, which we love. Because it provides these stats very easily in the dashboard itself. And it's really much easier to understand and tells you everything you need to know about the overall picture of how your website's performing. It really gives you all the details that you need, and it really tells you what we're interested in, right, is what pages and what content is performing best, which articles are getting the most traffic, what is our audience most responding to, right? And so you download this Jetpack plugin, and you will be able to click on it here and go to dashboard, and from here we'll be able to go and view our site stats. We like to use so this past week, this is the article that went viral. You can see, in Google Analytics, the trend. It's very similar as Jetpack. And now let's view the detailed stats. And so what this is going to show you is going to show you which article is doing really well right today. So for today we have a mix of articles doing well. It will show you which articles are getting the most views and the most traffic. It will show you where your traffic is coming from, what pins are doing really well. It'll show you where they came from yesterday. It'll show you the popular search engine topics that you're ranking for, and it'll also show you the clicks that people are clicking. So these are the people who are clicking over to our 21-day fat loss challenge. These are people clicking over to our Amazon Associates account. These are people clicking to the Yoga Fat Loss Bible, the YouTube channel, etc. So you can see where the traffic is coming from, where it's going, what pages they're on. So it really shows you kind of the most important stats that you really need to know. And that's why we love it, because it makes the entire process simple. And it's also on our dashboard back here. We can just come back here, click on Jetpack, see how we're doing, and move on. and get on to creating better blog content and kind of get on with our lives. And that's why we really like the Jetpack plugin. So again, up to you. Both are great. Use caution when investing your time in learning the ins and outs of Google Analytics. Really, it can be a bit of a rabbit hole. You can get too obsessed with stats and metrics and obsessed too little with creating new content and the shotgun theory with Pinterest that we talk about in the Ninja lessons and those sorts of things. And pay attention to Jetpack to see what posts are performing the best, to see what your audience is interested in. As we stated before, you want to create a bunch of different topic and sub niches, because that way you can look and see, all right, this is the content that my audience likes the most. So this is probably the content that I need to continue to create, right? It's not more complicated than that. So again, Google Analytics is a great platform, a little more complex. Jetpack is a little more beginner friendly. We use primarily Jetpack for 95% of stats data that we look at. And then 5% of the time I will come back into Google Analytics and fiddle around with some particular metric or stat that I'm looking for. And that's really how we use it and what we recommend. All right, guys, I will see you on the next lesson.